It was September 2007, and I'd been invited to meet the management team of an early-stage marketing software startup in their office in Cambridge, Massachusetts. They informed me in their invitation email that the entire company of 10 people read my newly published book, The New Rules of Marketing and PR. How could I not look forward to meeting them after an email like that? They said the company was developing software to help small and medium-sized businesses take advantage of the trends and techniques I described in my book. "We've been eager to meet you, David," welcomed Byron, the co-founder and CEO, as we entered the cramped conference room in the company's shared office space. "The concepts in your book are exactly what we built our company on. It's uncanny how similar our perspectives are." In those days, nearly every marketer on the planet spent buckets of money on traditional advertising and hired salespeople to cold call prospects. My New Rules of Marketing and PR introduced new perspective to the future of marketing. It described the enormous and far-reaching power I saw with social media. That was back in the days when MySpace was more popular than Facebook, and Snapchat and Instagram didn't yet exist. It was a thrilling experience to be with people starting a company to help other businesses implement the ideas I wrote about in my book. I eased into a chair at a table across from Byron and several of his colleagues. "How did you come up with the idea for your company?" I asked. Byron replied, "We were classmates at MIT Sloan's MBA program and always talked about how the way people buy products and services has changed so dramatically. Google is the first place to go, so, as you said in your book, web content is more important than advertising. We decided that after we graduated, we'd form a startup to develop software that helps companies get found in the search engines. It's what we call inbound marketing." "Great timing to launch the company," I said as I removed my MacBook Pro from my backpack and opened it. "There's no question that people are beginning to realize the importance." "Hang on," Byron said, pointing at my laptop. "This meeting can't go any further until you tell me about those stickers." I showcase my passions to the world by personalizing the stark aluminum of my Apple notebook. My computer is a billboard of what I love. "What's with the Japan sticker?" asked Byron. The Japanese script is not something most people recognize, and I was surprised he had placed it immediately. "Japan is really important to me," I said. "I was an exchange student for a summer in high school. I lived in Japan for 7 years from 1987 to 1993, and my wife Yukari is Japanese." Byron looked surprised. "Are you serious? I lived in Japan for a few years in the 1990s, too." His finger moved to another sticker among the many spread across my computer. "What's the deal with the Nantucket one?" My Nantucket sticker was rather subtle, a silhouette map of the island. If Byron could identify it, he must have visited and knew the island. "I've got a house on the island. Have you been?" I asked him, although I suspected I already knew the answer. Byron nodded. "Have been going for years. This is weird. It's like we're long-lost brothers. We both go to Nantucket, we both lived in Japan, and we both saw the future of marketing early on." He paused for a moment and then grinned. "And a Steely. So you're a deadhead too?" Byron was right. "This is getting really weird," I silently agreed. If he knew what a Steely was, then Byron was big into the Grateful Dead too. Many people recognize the half-red, half-blue skull symbol first used as a cover illustration on the band's 1976 Steal Your Face album, yet only true fans use the word Steely to describe it. "Absolutely. I've been to dozens of shows. They're my favorite band," I said. "They're my favorite too," Byron added. "I've been to over 50 shows." By then, I realized that Byron's colleagues were intently following our animated conversation. They seemed genuinely happy to let us geek out about the Grateful Dead. "You going to the Phil Lesh show at the Orpheum in a few weeks?" I asked Byron. Lesh was the Grateful Dead's founding bassist. Since Jerry Garcia's death in 1995 and the breakup of the band, the original members frequently tour with their own bands and in various combinations. I'm going for sure, but haven't finalized my plans. Right away, I understood Brian's deadhead code. He wanted to go, but didn't have a ticket yet. I've got a spare ticket. Want to join me? In a matter of minutes, Brian and I went from being complete strangers to talking like old friends because of the instant bond triggered by stickers on my computer. After that flourish concert in October 2007, we attended some 50 more shows together. Brian and I even combined our Grateful Dead fandom and our shared passion for marketing when we co-wrote the book Marketing Lessons from the Grateful Dead, What Every Business Can Learn from the Most Iconic Band in History. Interestingly, the Japanese language edition of the book became the fourth most popular business book in Japan the year it was published, outselling the English language version that year. Were Brian and I unconsciously channeling our experiences in Japan when writing? Who knows? A few days after our initial meeting, Brian invited me to become the founding member of the HubSpot advisory board. It was a thrill to add a HubSpot sticker to my computer to mark the occasion. Over the years, I worked closely with Brian and the HubSpot team to help grow the business to a projected $650 million in revenue in 2019. The company is now publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange and has offices around the world. When HubSpot opened a Japan office in 2016, Brian and I both delivered presentations at the opening event. All of this happened because Brian and I found a common language, common interests, common fandom. We shared our passions with each other, first for the music we both loved, and then for our work.